witch is very powerful to remind us. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is day 5 of Witchtember in my Books and Brews series, where we basically are spending the entire month talking about all things cozy, all things mystical, underscored by super strong, powerful female characters. Why? Because most witches, that's what they are. Do you want to know why I love witchy things? Like why I'm obsessed with witches? It's because witches throughout history have always represented healers, progressive thinking women who are gaining knowledge, who are thinking outside of the box, who are doing things that society tells them that they shouldn't do. They are breaking the societal norms and they are being punished for it. And this unfortunately really hasn't changed. There's still a lot of that in our society. And so I think the symbol of a witch is very powerful to remind us. All of the witches throughout time represent strong, powerful, radical women. And I find that incredibly inspiring. So, hi, welcome to Witchtember. I'm really happy that you're here. Today is Friday. I'm so excited that it's the weekend. I don't know, this week has been really rough. I, health-wise, have been going through some things. I haven't been getting good sleep. I will get a break. I will be able to breathe, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited to pull out my decor, get things set up for the holidays. I've started little bits in here and there, but I'm going to do a lot more decorating this weekend, and I will bring you guys along with me. But going into the weekend, by the way, this is my mug of the day. Very fall, very witchy. I love mushrooms, which makes sense because they are pretty witchy, right? Anyways, I love this mug. See, it's bright orange inside. Makes me happy. And I am drinking coffee. Going into the weekend, what I thought I would do, rather than just talking about one book, I wanted to curate a reading list for you for this month of Witchtember of books that are available on Kindle Unlimited. Because I know a lot of people love to read on their e-readers. I know a lot of people have the Kindle Unlimited memberships. And, you know, authors, especially indie authors, they really benefit from that if you are using it and you are reading their books. And if we're paying a monthly fee for a subscription service like Kindle Unlimited, well, then we should definitely make the most of it. And we should also allow the authors who are providing their works through this service to benefit. So I have come up with a list of and actually you guys are in luck because some of my favorite books of all time that also happen to be witchy books are on Kindle Unlimited right now. Okay, the first book on our list is Weyward by Emilia Hart. This book is no stranger to my channel. This is one of my favorite books of all time. I'm actually due for a reread. I think I might pick that up this month because it's been over a year since I read it and I loved it so much and I just want to experience it again. So in this book, we are following 3 different women over 5 centuries, and they are all connected through their bloodlines, but they are also all connected in that they have a unique relationship with nature. They have witchy senses, essentially. They all are dealing with terrible men in their lives. You guys, I'm telling you, the cats every single time. They don't do this like all day long. I'm telling you, it only is when I'm filming. They're like, now would be a really great time to get the zoomies. For real. Anyways, okay. These women are not only connected through their bloodlines, but they also are experiencing in their own time where we are seeing their lives from the 1600s all the way to modern day, are seeing them deal with men who are oppressive, who are abusive, who take advantage of them, who are power hungry and greedy. And all 3 women are paying in some way for these men's behavior and choices. I thought this was super well done. I learned a ton. This takes place in the UK, like I said, over 5 different centuries. We definitely see a lot of the witch trials back in the 1600s in UK. We are also following a woman in the 1940s, like circa World War II, and then a woman in modern day. And all 3 of them have a special connection to nature, and their connection to nature is very transformative for them in their lives in reclaiming their power and gaining their independence from these terrible men that are in their lives. Please do check trigger warnings. I would say on all of these books, unless I'm talking about a cozy book, check trigger warnings because like I said, generally witchy books are about women who are stepping outside of the norm, who are, you know, generally on the receiving end of really poor behavior and abuse from the people around them, but it's specifically usually men. So that is Weyward. The next book on the list is The Once and Future Witches by Alix E. Harrow. I love her. She's one of my favorite authors. I've loved every book that I've read by her. And actually 2 of them, this book is a 5-star book for me. It's like a 6-star book for me, actually. Another book of hers is a 5-star book for me, and the other book is like a 4.5 star for me. So, and she's coming out with another book in October, and I am so excited. Anyhow, The Once and Future Witches is a reimagining of Salem here in the United States, where the witch trials took place. This takes place in a new Salem, where witches supposedly don't exist, but we are in the middle of trying to gain women's rights. It's the suffragist movement. These 3 sisters who their families kind of fractured, they've gone through some things, and they're kind of estranged. Their paths cross again. They decide to become involved with the suffragist movement. And as they do, they find out that witches might still exist. And I just love the way that Alix writes books. You can tell she loves fairy tales. If you love fairy tales like I do, you will appreciate her writing so much. She takes a lot of the classic themes, a lot of the classic references from fairy tales, and then weaves it in with this like historical fantasy witchy reimagining. And it's amazing, it's powerful, it's moving, it's inspiring, and very, very witchy. And I highly recommend. It is one of my top favorite books. Like I would even put it above Weyward. The Once and Future Witches is one of my all-time favorite books. Just go read it, okay? I promise you will not be disappointed, especially if you like witchy books. The next book on my list is A Secret History of Witches by Louisa Morgan. She's written a ton of witch books, and I have a bunch on my TBR, but this is the only one that I've actually read of hers. I'm super excited. I also have The Witch of Brittany and The Age of the Witch, I think is what it's called. Anyway, those are next up on my list of hers to read. If you've read any of her other witch books, tell me which ones you like. Like, which ones should I prioritize? So, A Secret History follows a bunch of women, again, over like centuries. So we're following a line of women. It's like a saga, and we go clear back to the witch hunts, the witch trials, and we're just following like a string of women who are connected by blood and learning about witchcraft and the like rituals and the traditions and the lore of witchcraft, and exposing the way that society has attacked women and the way that they attacked witches during the witch hunts and during the witch trials. Definitely check trigger warnings on this one, because there are some descriptions that really, they were so difficult for me to read. I felt a lot of anguish over it. It made me sick almost. And there were times that I just wanted to skip over it. I wanted to put the book down. I wished that it wasn't in there. And then I thought, no, these things really happened. These things really happened to women in real life. And I owe these women my attention for just a few minutes. If I can barely stand to read about these atrocities, then I cannot imagine what it was like for them to go through it. And it is a good reminder to me that we can never, ever let our society get back to that state of being. And, you know, right now, some questionable things are happening. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But yeah, definitely pick up A Secret History of Witches and let me know if you've read any other of her books. Also, you guys, if I say anything funny, you might have noticed that I'm having trouble pronouncing certain words, or like they're just like coming out funny. I had to have surgery. I had like a tongue release and had to have surgery like deep in my tongue. So I'm a little like swollen down here. It's been a couple of weeks now, but it's still healing, and I'm doing therapy, and I'm having to relearn how to speak with my tongue. Like, it's different. It's very strange. So I'm no longer uncomfortable, but I'm not used to having this much tongue in my mouth, if that makes sense. That sounds really bad. Okay, anyway, just if you've been following me for a while and you notice that I sound a little different or that I'm pronouncing words differently, that's why. It will get better with time. I'm going to speech therapy. It's all part of the process. But when I've been editing my videos lately, I've been noticing that I really struggle with certain words, or certain words I say are hard to understand. I just wanted to let you guys know why. So the next book on my list, this is the first book on my TBR from Kindle Unlimited. It is called The Forgotten Witch by Jessica Dodge. And I love the cover of this book. I would love to have a physical copy. I will definitely see if I enjoy it, and then I might order a copy for my shelf. But overall, it is rated on Goodreads an average of 4.11 with over 8,000 ratings. That's pretty good, especially for like an indie published book. Okay, let's talk about what it's about. So we're following a lady named Helen Kent. She works in the big city. She works in marketing, and some random circumstances lands her in Scotland. She comes across this 500-year-old cottage that's full of secrets and stories, and it's apparently awaiting her. So she starts with a local legend of a 16th century witch, and she starts finding like journals and books in the library there. There's a Scottish neighbor, so I'm guessing there's maybe like a little bit of a romance maybe. Scottish neighbor and his wise grandfather begins to help her like piece everything together. Through her research, she discovers the link that connects her to the cottage. So it sounds like there's some dark magic happening, and she's trying to figure out what's going on with the magic and why she's there and what she has to do with it. I don't know. It sounds really good, and it had really good ratings. I think it was rated 4.3, I believe, overall on Amazon, with a whole like thousands more ratings over there as well. So overall, and isn't the cover like so beautiful? I just thought that sounded really good. I didn't realize that there was like maybe a little romance in there. I mean, I feel like that's what it hints at, that maybe there's a subplot of romance, and I love that. So again, I also like that we're going back, like way back in time, and that we're learning about the witch trials, you know. So I think cozy witchy books have its place, and I love them. We've already talked about a few, but I like the ones that incorporate the true history of witches and witch hunts and the witch trials, and then kind of link that to the present or to the story that they're telling. Okay, so there's that one. And then the next one that I have on my list is The 13th Witch by Mark Hayden. This is part of a multi-book series. I think it had over 10 books in it. It says, so it's the first book in the King's Watch. So this is the King's Watch series. And I don't know if every single book in the series is about witches, but this first one is definitely about a witch, the 13th Witch. And what really caught my attention was, I love the cover, but every single book in the series had thousands of reviews, and they were all over 4 stars. Like some of them were up to like 4.5, 4.6 overall. So he seems like he's a really good author, that it's a beloved like story volume of stories. I honestly don't know anything else about it, but yeah, so I'm looking on Goodreads right now. It looks like there's at least 11 books in the series that I can see. All of them have cumulative rating over 4 stars. Let's read this one. So this one on Goodreads has over 4,000 ratings, and the first story is 4.06, which is really good for a first book in a series. Okay, so this sounds like maybe it's a little bit urban fantasy, because our main character receives a text message from a deity, and this throws our main character Conrad into a life that he didn't see coming. It looks like it involves Norse gods, so some like mythology. It says, before you can say Ragnarok, Conrad is plunged into a world of gods, mages, witches, dwarves, and one rather aggressive giant mole. But he has next to no magic of his own. Armed with nothing but a sense of humor and a willingness to cheat, Conrad has to save the witch and his life. So maybe there's a little bit of a romance here. It sounds like this one's going to be a little more cozy. The cover is a little misleading. I thought it was going to be more serious, but hey, this is highly rated. I'm totally willing to give it a try. I love when a book can pull off being like a little bit more serious content and making social commentary, but also have comic relief and like a little romance in there. So this one sounds like it definitely has potential. The next book on my list to read is the first book in another series. I believe this is an 8-book series, and the first book is called The Witches of Scotland. It's the Dream Dancers Akashic Chronicles. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It's AKA Akashic. Anyway, by Stephen P. Aitchison. And all of the covers have this like eerie kind of, I'll put a picture up here, have this kind of eerie Aurora type vibes with an old Scottish castle. And it seems very mysterious and dark. And again, this series was highly rated. Every single book in the series was rated high. And this series seems to be really loved. And I'd never heard of it before. It's indie published, so, but yeah, it's giving off all the perfect like fall witchy vibes that I am seeking right now. So we will see. And I think I was able to check out the book for free from Kindle Unlimited, and then I could purchase the audiobook companion to go with it for like $4. Like, that's a very deep discount. So that is a little hack I have for using Kindle Unlimited and Audible, and like saving money on audiobooks. If you want to have the audiobooks, or if you like to tandem read, or if you like to hybrid read and go back and forth, that's what I do a lot of the time. So let's see what this one is about. I can't remember anymore because I've been looking at so many books. The Witches, Scotland. Drink your coffee or tea before it gets cold. Okay, so this first book has a overall rating of 3.97, so almost 4 stars for the first book. Again, that's really good for a first book in a series, because you always have people reading a series and they don't even know if they like it yet. It's the first book. So a lot of people read the first book and then never read the rest of the series, and they'll, rate it down low, and then you kind of weed out the people that don't like that series or that genre. And so then the rest of the books tend to go up in rating. So for a first book to have a 4-star average is pretty good, and it has almost 7,000 reviews. So the tagline for this book is, "It's one thing to read about witches, it's another thing to discover you are one." So this takes place in Glasgow, and our main character is a lawyer, an attorney. Oh no, he's a student. So he's in law school. David Hunter is drifting through life and feels like something is amiss. One night he is out and someone tries to kill him. He discovers he is from a long line of witches known as dream dancers. His life is turned upside down. Now he's unwittingly exposed himself to a world of powerful witches, clandestine government agencies, and a fight to protect the Akashic, maybe you don't say the H, Akashic? I should Google it. Is a life filled with magic really his true calling in life? If you love witches, magic, conspiracy theories, then you will love this supernatural, fast-paced thriller series. Definitely sounds great. Thriller, fall, dark, mysterious, witches. I mean, I'm very curious about this one. So I want to see how you pronounce that. Okay, Akashic. So I did say that at some point. So A like father, Ka like car, and then Shik like sick, but with an H. So yeah, Akashic. Interesting. Anyway, so that is the next book that was on my list. And then I have another one that I'm very interested in reading is The Witch's Tree. So The Witch's Tree by Elena Collins on Kindle Unlimited, and it is very highly rated, okay? This book is rated an average of 4.6 with almost 10,000 reviews on Amazon, and an average of 4.4 on Goodreads with almost 11,000 reviews on Amazon. Really excited about this. It says, a profoundly moving, beautifully written and emotional story. A tale as old as time, a spirit that has never rested. As a love affair comes to an end, and with it, her dreams for a future, artist Selena needs a retreat. The picture, postcard, slow cottage in the Somerset village of Ashcombe, I don't know. You guys, I don't speak British English. Promises to be the perfect place to forget her problems. So it's a new home. I thought she was visiting, but she actually buys a cottage. It's her new home. Before long, she starts to hear the past whispering to her. So this is present day. She's living in this cottage, and after she moves in, she starts hearing whispers in the house, and the cottage starts to reveal secrets to her about the past. So this looks like it's a dual timeline. The other timeline that we're following is 1682. So again, going back to the 1600 witch hunts, and we're following a woman named Grace. All she wants to do is have a husband and a family. She works on the farm. She looks after her father, and she is learning healing secrets from her grandmother, who is a healer. It says, but these are dangerous times for dreamers, and rumors and gossip can be deadly. One mismove and Grace's fate looks set. Separated by 300 years, two women are drawn together by a home bathed in blood and magic. Grace Cotter's spirit needs to rest, and only Selena can help her now. Okay. You guys, so this I've seen this idea before, but never where the person in present day is actually helping the old spirit move on. So this is, I'm really excited for this. And like I said, very highly rated. And the USA Today blurbed it and said, the author brings you this unforgettable, heartbreaking, gripping time slip novel set in a world when women were hung as witches and fates could be sealed by just a wrong word. Perfect for fans of Diana Gabaldon, she's the author of Outlander, which I need to read that series also. Anyways, okay, I'm really excited for this one, and it is on Kindle Unlimited, and then I did also buy the companion audiobook, which was, I think, $4.99. It was $4 or $5. I was able to buy it at a very deep discount. So I have that in my Audible waiting, and now that I just read that description, I kind of want to escalate this book to the top of the list. What did I just start? I just started a book. What was it? Okay, so yesterday I told you guys that I was going to start Neverkeep. I did start Neverkeep, and I am enjoying it. However, it doesn't really have witches in it, and as I was doing research for this video and reading about all of these books and thinking about all of the witchy books that I want to read, which are far more than I can get to, decided I will put down Neverkeep and I will stick to reading my witchy books because I have plenty of witchy books that I'm super excited to pick up that I've never read before. So I'll come back to the Neverkeep, probably next month. Still think it would be a fantastic fall read. Okay, so that was The Witch's Tree. And then finally, there's a book on Kindle Unlimited called Elemental Magic, the complete series, The Coven. Elemental Magic, the complete series by Chandel Lavon, I think. So it's more than one book. It's like it's a volume. It's got multiple volumes, I guess, all in one series. And it's also highly rated. Let's see. Okay, so this is actually a 6-book series. So I guess I checked out all 6 books, and then I also purchased the companion audiobook to go with it. I think it was like $7, and I got 6 books. I got the entire series. Okay, so the cover looks so intriguing. Way better than the cover that's on like the paperback or the Kindle Unlimited when I went to the site. So if you want to see what the vibes are all about, I'll put it on the screen here too. But the art on these books is definitely giving a completely different vibe from the other one. You see what I mean? You see the difference? But check this out. The entire series, like an omnibus, right? Like if you were to read all 6 back to back, it's big though. It doesn't come in an omnibus. Like it's big. It's like probably thrown a glass size or maybe a tiny bit smaller. The entire series is rated average of 4.64. That is really high. It's got thousands of reviews. The first book in the series is called The Lost Witch, and it has an average of 4.2 with over 4,000 ratings. So like I said, any first book with something greater than 4 is really good, because then you like weed out all the people who pick this up and then was like, I don't really like this genre, or I realize that this isn't really for me. And I mean, that's one of the great things about Kindle Unlimited, right? You can try out different things. There's no commitment. If you decide you don't want to read it, you just return it, kind of like a library, and you get out another book. Okay, you guys, those are the books that I wanted to put on your radar for Kindle Unlimited. Maybe you will pick one up this weekend. Let me know if you do, which one you're going to read. And also let me know if you've read Weyward or The Once and Future Witches, because those are 2 of my favorite books. Just want to know if you loved it too. And today is a busy, busy day. Like I said, work, kids, I have doctor's appointments. I have to take kids to appointments. It's going to be insane, but then it's Friday. Like then it's the weekend and I can relax. So get ready for a lot more content this weekend. I will try to do like longer vlogs, and we're going to decorate and do a lot more reading. I am going to spend part of the weekend with my boyfriend, so I may or may not vlog some of that. Anyways, happy fall, y'all. Hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.